So, one of my viewers recently sent me a personal message in which he thanked me for the work that I do. And he also pointed out that there was a widespread enslavement of white Europeans in North Africa during this period before the colonial era. Well, I had heard these claims before, but no one had ever cited any sources. In this case, this gentleman did cite a source. He pointed me to an article by Thomas Sowell. Thomas Sowell is a Harvard educated economist, and not that it matters to anyone except black supremacists, but yeah, he's black. In the article, Sowell recounts how there was a lot of white slaves in North Africa, enslaved by Africans. And this predates the 13 colonies. Not only were they slaves, but they were galley slaves. And galley slaves had it far worse than plantation slaves who were picking cotton. So I did some cursory research and I came across this book, Christian Slaves, Muslim Masters by Robert Davis, written in 2003. Davis confirms what Sowell was saying, that basically there was this widespread enslavement of white Christian Europeans by black Muslims in North Africa during the early 1500s to the late 1700s. And in total, it accounted for about 1.25 million white slaves. So not only was there a lot of them, and not only did they have it far worse than plantation slaves in America did, but also too, there was this little aspect of Muslim society back then. Apparently they didn't consider pederasty immoral. It was considered perfectly acceptable. So when they took these young male white slaves into slavery, they used them for the sexual satisfaction of older men. Yeah, interestingly enough, I never saw anything about that in Amistad. Kind of glossed over that little detail, didn't we? Yeah, Roots, you don't see that. In fact, you don't see a single fucking movie out there about this horrible injustice that these people did to white Europeans. No, as a matter of fact, you don't hear about it in high school, do you? And isn't it funny how people like Angel Snupnup 7 and other black supremacists talk about how they don't teach about slavery in high school? I'm always like, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, they teach it, but the message is, look what white people do to black people. But you never hear about the widespread enslavement of white Europeans by black Muslims in North Africa, and you sure as fuck don't hear about any pederasty. And of course, you're going to hear plenty of those black supremacists try and deny that this ever happened. Not only that, they're going to try and say, oh, but they did it because it was religious slavery. It wasn't race-based slavery. Oh, okay, so if I threw your ass in a cotton field and made you pick cotton for free under the hot sun and said, oh, but it's not because you're black, it's because you're Christian, you of course would go, oh, okay, that's okay then. I'll just go ahead and get to work right now. No, to the victim of the slavery, it doesn't fucking matter what rationale by which you throw them into chains. Fact is, they are in chains, and it's a horrible atrocity for one human being to commit to another. And as it turns out, black people have done it to white people. And black supremacists love to mine all of history for every sin they can find ever committed by white people against black people, all in the name of demonizing white people to advance an anti-white agenda. But not only is this incredibly insincere, it's also grossly hypocritical. They're essentially exploiting their ancestors' suffering for their own purposes. And like Angel Snupnup 7 starting every video with, in the name of my ancestors. Fuck you, it ain't in the name of your ancestors, it's in the name of you, motherfucker. You don't give a fuck about slavery and the horrible atrocities they faced. All you care about is advancing your own needs. So I'm going to do something that black supremacists like Angel Snupnup 7 would never do, because I'm better than them. Not because my skin is white, but because the content of my character has a higher quality to it. Are you ready? See, I'm not going to exploit my ancestors' suffering. Instead, I'm going to honor them with this statement. Black people, despite all the evidence of this history of white slave trading in North Africa during this period, black people have never enslaved white people. That's right. No, as a matter of fact, black slavers enslaved white people. Not only are those white people who suffered so immensely under black oppression long dead, so are the black people that did it. So black people today are in no way responsible or obligated towards white people for that horrible atrocity committed by evil black people who died hundreds of years ago. So the next time some black supremacist comes up to you and talks about how slavery causes their problems today and you owe them all kinds of money and this and that, and they use it to demonize you for having white skin for what their ancestors went through by people who happen to have a similar skin color than you, then you change the conversation. You start talking about those people who had similar skin color to them, who came across the Mediterranean to white homes on the European coast and took small boys off to North Africa to be sex slaves for older men. See how they like that. Something tells me they won't want to talk about it anymore. Something tells me they're going to want to deny slavery and they're not going to want to talk about reparations or making right what was done wrong to those white people. Isn't it funny how things always seem to work out that way for black people? Just comes down to the truth about what this whole fucking reparations things is about. It's not about making things right, it's about making white people wrong.